Pakistani provocation, 3 Pakistani posts have been destroyed and 12 to 15 Pakistani Rangers have been killed by BSF. This after what we saw yesterday in Samba sector where a BSF Jawan was martyred. A strong retaliation there coming in from India after that Pakistani provocation on the Samba sector. Now 3 Pakistani posts we know at the moment have been destroyed by the Indian side and about 12 to 15 Pakistani Rangers have been killed by the BSF. Shreya Dhondiyal is now joining us with more details as well as Mufti. Shreya, first to you, what details can you bring us in from the Ministry of Defence?
These are the details that we have managed to pick up from the BSF because where the firing has taken place is the international border. This is Samba, this is the Hiranagar sector. What we are being told is that heavy firing has been going on between both sides since yesterday, since 4 p.m. in fact yesterday evening. And in that heavy firing, there are at least 3 Pakistani mortar posts that have been hit by the BSF. And what the BSF IG is now saying on record is that at least 12 Pakistani Rangers have been killed in that cross-border firing. This is a retaliation to what we have seen yesterday. Havaldar R.K. Hazra, again in the Samba sector, was hit by a sniper fire. And usually after a soldier on the Indian side is killed, we see firing across the border on the Indian side intensify, because losing a fellow soldier, losing a brother soldier is never good for any force's morale, which is why we saw heavy firing from the Indian side, and this, as I said, has been happening since 4 p.m. yesterday. 3 mortar posts have been hit, and the IG of the BSF is saying that at least 12 Pakistani Rangers have been killed. Right now, at the moment, what we are also picking up is that firing has stopped for the moment. I'm also waiting to hear what Pakistan has to say. We are still waiting from that customary tweet from ISP. Chances are, 99% chances are, they will deny that any such firing has taken place. They will also deny that 12 Pakistani soldiers have been killed. But let's just wait for that.
All right, let's listen in now to IGBSF speaking on this retaliation by the Indian side.
ये भी पता चला है कि पाकिस्तान में काफ़ी लोगों की जो है नुकसान हुआ है, कई जो रेंजर्स थे वो मारे भी गए हैं रिटेलिएशन में।
देखिए, जो पाकिस्तान में नुकसान हुआ है, अगर पाकिस्तान का जो मीडिया प्रेस अगर आप मॉनिटर करेंगे नेट पे जा कर के, उसमें उसके हिसाब से नुकसान हुआ है। दूसरे कुछ इंटरसेप्शन है, उनके हिसाब से नुकसान हुआ है।
कितनी कैजुअल्टी लग रही है?
10 के करीब। एग्जैक्टली तो जो है मैं नहीं बता सकता, बट यस नुकसान हुआ है।
सर, कुछ खबरें आ रही हैं कि जो रिटेलिएशन बीएसएफ की तरफ से की गई है उसमें पाकिस्तानी रेंजर जो है उनकी संख्या 10 के करीब बताई जा रही है। जो मोटार पॉइंट थे कि 10 से 12 के करीब उनके सोल्जर जो है वो मारे गए हैं।
ये दिल्ली से कंफर्म किया? नहीं, ये जो है देखिए, ये मैं इसमें नहीं कंफर्म कर सकता, लेकिन ये है कि हमने रिटेलिएट किया। 82 मोटर का फायर उन्होंने शुरू किया, देन अकॉर्डिंगली जो वेपन हमारे पास में है उनका इस्तेमाल किया, और उसके बाद में 8:30 बजे के बाद में उनका फायर आना बंद हो गया जो है। तो इससे इंडिकेट ये मिलता है कि उनका नुकसान हुआ है।
कोई स्पेसिफिक नंबर जो आपके पास इनपुट हो?
हाँ, स्पेसिफिक ऐसा कोई नंबर नहीं है, बट सब्सिक्वेंटली जो है यू कैन वेट फॉर सम टाइम, तो उसके बाद में जो है जो भी कंफर्म रिपोर्ट्स हैं वो आ जाएंगे।
इनपुट है कोई टेररिस्ट की प्रेजेंस की? ये भी पता चला है कि पाकिस्तान में काफ़ी लोगों की जो है नुकसान हुआ है, कई जो रेंजर्स थे वो मारे भी गए हैं रिटेलिएशन में।
देखिए, जो पाकिस्तान में नुकसान हुआ है, अगर पाकिस्तान का जो मीडिया प्रेस अगर आप मॉनिटर करेंगे नेट पे जा कर के।
Mufti Islah is now joining us with the very latest. Mufti, take us through the ground situation as it exists at the moment.
Well, since yesterday we saw a spate of activities on the international border. Generally, line road remains extremely active, but we've been talking about this. Once the mountain passes close, then Pakistan really concentrates on the international border, which actually is Jammu Plains. These are the districts of Jammu, for that matter Samba, Katwa, and further up you have the Punjab border, and all of a sudden these become extremely active because Pakistan tries to push in a group of intruders. Like today in the morning, what Pakistan tried through the Urnia sector was that they tried to push 4 to 5 intruders. However, the BSF was alert, they had prior information, they fired, and in this an intruder was killed. He's been identified as someone from Sialkot. Anwar is what the BSF gives his name. But clearly the other fact is that since yesterday we've also seen a lot of activities in Samba sector, where yesterday in that sniping incident a BSF Jawan was killed, and post to that we've seen now the Inspector General of BSF, Mr. Ram Avatar, telling News 18 that well, the Indian side also retaliated, and since yesterday Shreya was also pointing out between 5 and 7 the BSF also fired back at Rangers, because Rangers are the facing outfit out there, unlike the LOC where the facing group is the army itself. And the BSF has made a claim that they've at least killed 10 to 12 Pakistani soldiers. However, it is a claim as of now. We also constantly trying to look at the ISPR or other Pakistani media. So far nothing has come, but we will still have to wait because it generally takes a lot of time to really get reports about the line of control or the boundary, because these are areas which are far off. So let's wait for some time. But the BSF has said that they did smash 3 of the Pakistani bunkers, resulting in massive casualties.
Let me also get in a perspective from Major General G.D. Bakshi joining us on the phone line. Sir, your first reaction to the strong retaliation from the BSF, about 3 posts on the Pakistani side destroyed and about 12 Pakistani Rangers there being killed.
Pakistan should expect this on a very regular basis now, because Pakistan has, despite all attempts to seek peace with it, misbehaved constantly. And every time we have held out the hand of peace, we have been stabbed in the back. So this is the only answer. The army just gave one retaliatory action. Now the BSF has followed suit, and I'm sure the army will pay back for many more, because this is not the way we can have a one-way traffic across the line of control. We should hit back, and the surgical strike should be the new norm. Trans-border raid should be the new norm, and if required, we should graduate up to artillery attacks, fire assaults. And if those don't work, then we must raise the level to air strikes.
Major General Bakshi, I'd also want your reaction to the fact that the IB seems to have been heated up over here with the attack yesterday in Samba sector from the Pakistani side, in which one Indian soldier was martyred. How do you view this whole, the hotting up of the IB?
You see, the fact of the matter is that the Pakistan Army Chief General Bajwa, in his testimony to the Pakistani Senate, had said that, he would be very amenable to peace overtures to India and peace talks with India. But within days, we got these 1 major and 3 Jawans were killed in the Rajouri sector, and then we have this boy getting killed, and then, them taking pot shots. All of a sudden, the line of control has heated up. So it looks like General Bajwa is not in charge of his own army. His own corps commanders and divisional commanders have a different tune to play. They have a stake in continued hostility with India, and they are not going to let any peace break out. So I think it's about time we stop this futile exercise and making a joke of ourselves as the worst victims of terror, who constantly have only one thing to harp on, and that is peace talks with Pakistan.
All right, let me also get in.
We must now talk in a language the Pakistani army understands.
Okay, Major General Bakshi, do stay on with us, sir. Former DG BSF Ram Mohan is also with us on the phone line. Sir, first of all, how do you assess this strong retaliation from the BSF?
Oh, absolutely right, what the BSF has done. They are not there to just take casualties. If the Pakis inflict casualties on us, we'll take double the casualties on their side.
Also,
so they've done a good job.
Yes, because sir, there have been 3 posts on the Pakistani side that have been destroyed, and 12 Pakistani Rangers there being killed. So this is a heavy casualty that we have managed to inflict on the Pakistani side.
See, they have not been killed individually. They have fired at the post.
Right.
And they are subsequently been, bullets must have hit them. It's not that individually people have been collected and killed one after the other.
Also, sir,
they have retaliated across the border, and Pakis have not protected themselves properly, so they must have got killed.
Also, sir,
after all, who started their fight? We didn't start it. They started it.
Yes. Yes,
They
yes,
fired at us and killed our man.
yes.
So what do? We sit quiet and keep quiet, is it? We'll retaliate. What the BSF has done is very right.
Okay. So also, you know, in the recent past, we've seen whenever casualties have been inflicted on the Pakistani side, they usually end up denying that any casualty has been inflicted on their side or any posts have been destroyed. Is this the standard reaction that we should expect this time as well?
I don't think so. It is not possible to conceal that somebody has been killed and some people have been injured. The border is such a close place after all. People will come to find out. So it's best to tell the truth.
Right. Right, so many thanks for speaking with us. I want to go back to Mufti for a bit to get a better sense of what the BSF is saying on the ground. Mufti, you know, this retaliation must have started yesterday, right after we took one hit in Samba sector. Has this entire retaliation been conducted overnight and we are hearing about it only now?
Absolutely, and generally you have these tit-for-tat attacks unless they exact revenge, and precisely this is what has happened yesterday when the BSF's body was seen at the headquarters of that very fortification. They were angry Jawans, and the officers had really to concede that they need to do something about this, and that's when it started. Around between 5 to 7, the BSF did use heavy artillery. Apart from that, they also did fire, and in that we now know that three posts of Rangers were destroyed, and as the IG BSF also said that he expects that there would be around 10 to 12 soldiers of Rangers who have been killed in that. So clearly these are the tit-for-tat attacks, and the soldiers do have this option of attacking, and that's what has happened, and Pakistan has really paid very heavily for whatever they did yesterday when they shot that BSF Jawan, actually sniping at him under the cover of the ceasefire violations.
Absolutely. Shreya, any response that we are seeing from Pakistan?
Well, not so far. I've been tracking Pakistani media, also ISPR, the official Twitter handle of the Pakistani army, and that's where the first denial comes. I mean, that's where the Pakistan even denied the surgical strikes and said that there were no casualties that were taken on the Pakistani side when the surgical strikes happened post the Uri attack. So the level of deniability as far as Pakistan and its army goes is extremely high. I know that the former DG of BSF was on the network right now saying that how can you deny the death of 12 of your own soldiers? Well, Pakistan has done it before. There is no saying that they won't do it again as well. So far, they are quiet. I think a response will come. We'll have to wait for another half an hour, 40 minutes. I've been tracking their media channels as well. No news of 12 of their Rangers being killed so far. The ISPR, as I said, is quiet as well. So we'll just have to wait another half an hour, 40 minutes to see what their response is. My bet is that there'll be a series of denials that will come. You also sort of start questioning about the sort of country and the sort of army that Pakistan has. I mean, your own soldiers are dying. You have to inform their next of kin. This is a standard operating procedure, Maha. You have to send their bodies back to their homes where they come from. How do you deny it? How do you deny that your soldiers have been killed in cross-border firing? So let's see what their response is going to be. So far, nothing.
Lieutenant General Raj Kadian is also now joining us on the phone line. Sir, as Shreya was pointing out that in the recent past, whatever casualties that Pakistan has taken, they've been denying that those incidents, only talking about civilian deaths when they, tend to summon our Deputy High Commissioner time and again over that. How do you react, or what is the trend here? Can you comment on it, the manner in which Pakistan reacts?
Now, let us first talk about the larger context. India has tried her best to take all the neighboring countries along to the path of progress. We did that in SAARC. Almost all other countries are cooperating, but Pakistan somehow does not see reason. They have a animosity against India built into their DNA. So these perfidies are taking place repeatedly. India, despite repeated warnings and caution when Pakistan does not listen, we have to speak in the language that they understand. And that is the language of violence. Now, your part, why is Pakistan not reporting these casualties, which are so obvious to everybody? The reason is Pakistan has created an aura of invincibility of their army in Pakistan country.
Okay.
That is the only way they can rule the roost. Therefore, they will always deny the casualties. Pakistan in Kargil even refused to accept the dead bodies of the soldier who had the identification marks on the body.
Yes.
So we should not be surprised that Pakistan will deny. We shouldn't get perturbed. We should give them the punishment as severe, swift and certain. Because that's the only language they understand. We must speak their language.
All right. We're getting some more information. Let's give you the details of that first. The first visuals of Pakistani intruders there. The visuals there coming in of Pakistani intruder killed in Arnia sector this morning. Let me go across to Mufti Islah for more details on that. Mufti, take us through this incident now.
Well, these are the first visuals actually of that intrusion attempt that was made by 4 to 5 Pakistanis early in the morning. The BSF, however, as I've been pointing out since morning, they had a prior information and they did challenge this group. Upon challenging, they were fired upon. The BSF also fired back, which resulted in death of an intruder. Now, this intruder has been identified as Anwar of Sialkot. Clearly, the BSF is trying to find more information as to why this group was coming in, but seems that Pakistani is using the advantage of fog as well as darkness, wanted to push this group inside, and then BSF was able to shoot at least one of them. Rest of the 4, we have learned, have fled back to the Pakistani side.
Right, so even at this point in time when, this area must be snow-capped, some of the areas definitely are snowed in at the moment, the attempts for intrusion continue.
Absolutely. That's when Jammu plains become extremely active.
Yes.
And Jammu, in fact, is a long border. And when you're talking about Poonch, Rajouri, those are the LOC areas, and they get blocked because of the snow. And it snowed actually a few weeks back, and that has closed those passes. And all of a sudden, Jammu, because in January, it gets fogged out early in the morning and as well in the evening. Pakistanis, generally, it's been seen as a rule since last 20 years or so that infiltration certainly picks up in the Jammu plains, and precisely that explains what has happened today in the morning.
And you are saying that there was prior information that this group was challenged. Any more details that are coming in, Mufti?
The BSF gets this advisory that, January onwards there will be spurt in activity along the international border, and they had this advantage, and they're already alerted their troops, especially who are closer to the fence. And once this group came in, the BSF was ready, waiting for them. And when they shouted at them to stop, which they didn't, and they fired, that kind of kicked off a small shootout. And in that shootout, one intruder was killed, and as I've been pointing out, he belongs to Pakistan. He's from Sialkot and he's been shot dead. Rest of the people have fled. Now BSF is trying to recover, what was on that person, and clearly there will be more investigations as to what this group intended to do. Was it a group of Fidains? Because we've seen in January to February, there have been spate of Fidain attacks, especially in Jammu, on the national highway from this particular area, from Jammu to Katwa, which actually is very close to also the national highway, that's the Delhi-Jammu highway. And in the past also we have seen a lot of Fidains actually, Fidain attacks taking place, whether that was in Hiranagar area, whether that was in Rajbagh police station in Katwa. So clearly could have been an attempt towards that, but all can be found out once those investigations start, Maha.
All right, as the areas in Kashmir get snowed in, it's Jammu where these activities now seem to be picking up. Using the cover of fog, this group was trying to infiltrate. They were challenged and one of them was killed. Mufti Islah getting us details there from Jammu and Kashmir.